All right, so Ms. Sims back again here with another example. So we just finished number 1, and we used to where it was we wanted positive and greater and positive only comparing to 0. So we wanted positive solutions, no brackets. So now we're going to work on problem number 2 from the worksheet. So in number 2, we have the equation x plus 12 over x plus 2 greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so again, this time I'm going to pick apart. So again, greater than means I want positive. So that's above the x-axis. And then the equal to signs means I can use square brackets for zeros. Okay, so I'll always be able to pick that apart from the beginning of my problem. So now I'm going to treat this problem like it has a pure equal sign in it. I'm going to work it just like it has an equal sign. So I'll make it equal to 3. So I'll start off with x cannot equal negative 2. Lowest common denominator. I only have one denominator. Should be pretty easy. X plus 2. So as I multiply each term by x plus 2, my first term, they cancel. I've got to do each term though, so make sure I do both. So I'm left with a problem. X plus 12 is equal to 3 times x plus 2. So I'll need to distribute right here on the side, and that will give me 3x plus 6, and then I have x plus 12. I'll minus 3x over. I'll minus the 12 over, and I have negative 2x is equal to negative 6. Divide by negative 2, and I'll get x equals 3. So now I go to my calculator, and in my calculator, I'm going to put this in my calc. So I'm going to start by putting my restriction, which was negative 2. So that one is undefined. So always parentheses on undefined. Then we have positive 3. That's a 0. And it said on this problem, we can put square brackets in our zeros. So what's going to be different is my y1. I want to make sure that everything is equal to 0. So I type in my fraction. But I need this 3 to be on the other side of the equation. So I'm just going to say minus 3. All right, so let's take that to the calculator so you can see it. So let me clear out these two previous things. Go to y equals and clear that out. So I'll type in parentheses x plus 12 divided by parentheses x plus 2. And then the difference is, because it wasn't equal to 0 in the first problem, I'll have to subtract 3 over. And so now the problem is really equal to 0 because I minus the 3. So now as I look at the graph here, I can clearly see definitely between negative infinity and I believe that was negative 2, that graph is below. So I'm going to go back to my equation here, and I'm going to write negative. Sorry about that. Then we'll go back to the graph here, and between negative 2 and 3, the graph is above the x-axis. So I'm going to write that interval is positive. So here it was positive. Okay, and then from 3, so go back to the graph, and I look at 3, and from 3 on, the graph is negative because it's below the x-axis. So remember, when I'm talking about positive and negative, I'm talking above the x-axis is positive, below the x-axis is negative. So I'll mark my last interval here as negative. That's positive infinity, and that'd be negative infinity. And so remember when we started the problem, we said we wanted positive. So I want that interval right there. So my solution will be the interval parenthesis negative 2 to 3 square bracket. All right, so the difference in what we did for the last few days is that now we have to use the calculator and a number line to finish our problems out. All right, I hope that will work. And for your homework, you are going to finish that worksheet. So there were 10 questions. We did 2, so you have 8 left.